Hey, what is up, mortals? It is JessicaGem here with a new video for you. Welcome to part number 4 of What If Deku Met Ryoko. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. And so, we begin. Midoriya sat down at his desk. He stared at the envelope for several minutes. The teen knew that the contents of this one letter would change the course of his future. This was a lot of pressure for anyone to be under. After a few moments of silence, Midoriya ripped open the letter, and a small disc fell onto the boy's desk. The inquisitive teen wondered what the device was. Suddenly, a hologram appeared in the air.
Booyah! I am here! As a projection!
All Might? What's going on?
Izuku Midoriya, I am here to give you your test result. I am also UA's newest teacher, but never mind that, let's get down to the results.
Hearing this new information made Midoriya's eyes bug out of his head.
All Might will be teaching at UA? That's crazy! As I was saying, I am here to give you your test results. I am proud to say that you passed the written test with flying colors, but I know you're more interested in the practical test. I am also glad to report that you got 55 combat points. That alone gave you top marks on this exam. But there's more!
Midoriya figured this was coming. He had wondered why the Hero Course exam would only cover combat.
While being able to fend off a villain is important, there was a hidden scoring system. This second score was based on how you behaved during the exam. Judges awarded points to examinees who behaved in the way a hero should. These points are called rescue points, and you, Izuku Midoriya, received 85 rescue points. That gives you a total of 140 points. That means you got first place in the exam. Congratulations!
Midoriya was left speechless by this information. He was excited to know that he got in, but to get the top spot was an even bigger surprise. The leaderboard appeared behind All Might. It showed that Midoriya did get first place. In second place was Melissa Shield. Midoriya was surprised to see that Ryoko had gotten third place. And coming in fourth was Katsuki Bakugo. That is not how Midoriya thought the four would place. The All Might hologram continued.
You have done well, young man. Be proud of your accomplishment. Welcome, Izuku Midoriya, to the Hero Academy. I look forward to seeing great things from you.
Izuku exited his room. He entered the living room to find Ryoko sitting on the couch talking to his mother. Ryoko, what are you doing here at this hour?
I wanted to see you. You haven't been by the old man's place in a week, Izuku. I was getting worried about you.
Ryoko had taken to calling the green teen by his first name. He had tried to explain that this was not socially proper in Japan, but Ryoko said she didn't care. She liked calling Midoriya by his first name, and she would. That was the end of it. Your friend came to the door not too long ago, dear. I told her you were looking through your test results right now, but I was a little concerned, so I invited her in to keep me company. By the way, what were your results? Izuku then told Inko that he did get into UA. He also told his mother that he got first place on the test. Tears started streaming down Inko's face. She then spoke in a very excited and emotional voice. My baby, I'm so proud of you. Inko embraced Izuku in a fierce hug. The woman had been so worried about Izuku for so long. She was so happy to see that her son's dreams had come true. After several minutes of crying, Inko got control of herself. Well, we need to celebrate. I will make your favorite dinner, Izuku, and your friend can join us. That way I can get to know her better. If that's all right with her.
I would love that.
As Inko prepared dinner, Izuku talked with Ryoko about his test results. He also congratulated his friend on scoring so high. The two then passed the time by recounting how their tests had played out. When dinner was ready, the three spent the rest of the evening talking, eating, and celebrating Izuku and Ryoko's big accomplishments. After a few weeks, Izuku's first day of UA came. After he got dressed in his UA uniform, he came into the living room of his home. Standing there was his mother, grandfather, and Ryoko, who was in the UA girl's uniform. Inko was the first to speak. Her voice had a concerned tone. Are you ready, Izuku? Do you have everything you need? I do.
Looks like your hard work has paid off, Izuku. I am very proud of you.
Thank you, Grandpa.
However, you still have a lot to learn. So make sure you listen to your teachers and learn their lessons.
I will, Grandpa. The old man gave the teen a nod of approval. Before the scene could get too touching, Ryoko butted in.
Alrighty, let's get this day started. Let's show this school what we can do.
She is right. We need to get going. Izuku and Ryoko exited the Midoriya home and headed to the train station. Ryoko did wonder why she couldn't just fly the two of them to campus. It would have been faster. Izuku quickly explained that it was against the law to use your powers in public, unless you were protecting yourself, or you had a hero license. Ryoko thought that it was a weird rule, but she got on the train. In short order, they arrived at the UA campus. The two walked down the halls of UA. After a short walk, they arrived at the classroom they were assigned to, Class 1A. Izuku wondered why the door was so large. Did they have giants wandering these halls? Both teens stood in front of the door. Izuku was a little afraid to open it. Finally, Ryoko commented, "Well, are you gonna open the door or not, Izuku?" "I'm just a little worried. I've wanted this for so long. Now that it's happening, I'm a little overwhelmed." "That is nonsense. You found an unconscious girl at the site of a spaceship crash and didn't bat an eyelash. After doing all of that, you're telling me that a classroom is all it takes to make you question yourself?" Izuku smiled at Ryoko. He was glad she was here. "You're right." Izuku grabbed the door handle and slid the door open. "I'm sure that everyone here is nice." The sight that welcomed the duo's eyes was a fight between Katsuki Bakugo and the blue-haired boy Midoriya met at the entrance exam. Both boys were in the middle of a heated exchange. From what Midoriya could understand, Bakugo had put his feet on the desk, which the brunette did not approve of. Both boys stopped arguing when they saw Midoriya and Ryoko enter the classroom. All eyes in the room turned towards them. The blue-haired boy walked up to Midoriya. "Hello there. My name is Tenya Ida. I wanted to apologize to you for my behavior towards you at the exam. I foolishly considered you to be inferior to me, but you realized that there was a secret scoring system." Midoriya was surprised by Ida's straightforward apology. The kind teen then replied, "It's okay, Ida. You don't need to apologize. I had no idea about the rescue points. I just reacted out of instinct." Before Ida could respond, a perky feminine voice came from behind Midoriya. "I know that messy hair. It's Izuku Midoriya." Another voice, just as feminine, followed close behind. "It sure is. It's good to see you, Midoriya." Midoriya turned around to see that Ochako Uraraka and Melissa Shield had entered the classroom. "Oh, Melissa and Uraraka. It's good to see you two again as well. I was happy to see that you two made it in. Also, congratulations on getting second place, Melissa." The blonde girl smiled at Midoriya. "Thank you. I was surprised that I did so well. I thought I would have placed lower." "I'm not surprised. You earned that spot with how you took down the zero-pointer in one shot." While this was a normal interaction, Ryoko watched it with a concerned glare in her eyes. The white-haired woman thought to herself, "Who are these two? Why are they so friendly with Izuku? Man, the two of them are really cute, aren't they? These two are gonna be trouble." Ryoko silently screamed in her mind at the thought that these two might steal her friend from her. Honey is a free browser add-on available on Google, Opera, Firefox, Safari, and more. If it's a browser, it has Honey. Honey automatically saves you money when you check out on sites like Amazon, Papa John's, Kohl's. Wherever you shop, it's a good chance that Honey can save you money. All you have to do when you're checking out at these major sites is click that little orange button, and it'll scan the entire internet and find discount codes for you. It only takes 2 clicks to install Honey, and now anytime you check out, the Honey button will pop down and show any coupon codes it found. If there's a coupon code, they'll find it. And if there's not one, you can rest assured that you are getting the best price possible, and there's no better deal available on that site. If you install Honey right now, you can save a few dollars to hundreds of dollars on your shopping, doing nothing. There's literally no reason not to install Honey. It takes 2 clicks, 10 million people use it, it has 100,000 5-star reviews, and unless you hate money, you should install Honey. Suddenly a gruff voice came from the hallway. "It took you all 5 minutes to quiet down. That's not gonna work." All of the students were surprised to see an unkempt man wrapped up in a yellow sleeping bag. Everyone thought he looked kind of like a caterpillar. The man unzipped the bag from the inside and inhaled a small package of applesauce. The man then stated, "I am Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher." Before the students could respond, Aizawa stood up and pulled a stack of uniforms from his sleeping bag. "Now each of you get changed into one of these gym uniforms and meet me on the practice field." Uraraka responded to this order in a concerned voice. "But sir, We're going to miss orientation. The teacher's eyes glowed red, and he stared down the group with an icy stare. You don't have time to worry about nonsense like that. At UA, we aren't tethered to tradition. That means I can run my class the way I see fit. Now do as I say. Not wanting to receive another arctic glare from the teacher, they all did as they were told. After getting changed into the gym uniforms, the class gathered on the practice field. Today you will be taking part in a series of tests to show how well you use your powers. Mina Ashido spoke up in a curious tone. Sir, what does that mean? I was about to explain, Ashido. At this point in your lives, you have taken many tests, but you have not had to use your quirks in a different fashion. Aizawa then turned to Melissa Shield. Miss Shield, I know you're a transfer student from America, but what was your farthest throw with a softball? About 50 meters, I think. Aizawa tossed the blonde girl a ball. Try it again, but use your quirk. The man pointed to a circle on the ground nearby. Anything goes. Just stay inside that circle. Melissa stepped into the circle. The girl silently thought to herself that she couldn't use her full power since she wasn't wearing her braces. But she was going to give it everything she could. The blue-eyed girl activated her quirk. An aura of pink electricity surrounded her body. She then drew her arm back and threw the ball. The orb rocketed into the atmosphere. The other students were impressed. Aizawa held up his phone and read out what it showed. That Melissa had thrown the ball 650 meters. Not bad, Miss Shield. These tests will give you some idea of where you're at and what you need to improve on. Ashido piped up. So, it's like a test, but we get to use our powers? This sounds like fun! Aizawa got a stern look on his face. Fun, is it? Then how about this? The person who places last will be expelled. All of the students were horrified at this information. Uraraka spoke up first. But we just got here, and we all worked so hard to get into UA. It isn't fair. Are villain attacks fair? How about natural or man-made disasters? Of course they aren't. The world is full of unfairness. It's a hero's job to combat that unfairness. You all have 3 years at UA to prepare yourself to face the evil that threatens society. Show me that you have what it takes. Go plus ultra. None of the students liked the idea of being expelled on their first day. However, none of them could argue with Aizawa's logic. If they couldn't pass a simple test like this, then how would they deal with when they had to face down real villains? All of them made the silent pledge to do their best and not come in last place. Quick note, Ryoko and Melissa Shield's acceptance into UA means that Koji Koda and Rikido Sato didn't make it in. Aizawa gave them a quick rundown of what the test would be. As Midoriya listened, he decided not to use the Lighthawk wings in the test. Midoriya knew from his brief usage of the wings during the entrance exam, and the few times he had trained with it since, that they were capable of more than just defending. The problem was that he had to build up his stamina more. He could only manage to use the Lighthawk wings for about 5 minutes at most. After that, he would be drained and unable to use his powers, so the intelligent teen would rely on his telekinesis and enhanced physical powers. The tests came hard and fast. Midoriya managed to score well in all of them, but he hadn't managed to get a top score. Ryoko, on the other hand, got several top scores. She got high marks in the long jump, grip strength, and long-distance run. The final test was the softball throw. Uraraka had gotten the top score by getting an infinity symbol. Ryoko did well with a score of 700 meters, but up next was Bakugo. Alright, I may not get an infinity, but I'm gonna beat Glasses and Snaggletooth. The spiky-headed teen drew his arm back and shouted at the top of his lungs, Go to hell! He sent the ball rocketing into the sky with a powerful explosion. Aizawa's distance reader came up at 705.2 meters. Bakugo looked back at Midoriya with an evil glare and said, Try and top that, Deku! Midoriya was the last one up. Aizawa threw him the ball. The intelligent teen knew he needed a top score. The problem he had was that he knew that neither his physical strength nor his telekinesis would be enough to get the ball far enough. Suddenly, Midoriya got a brilliant idea. The green teen channeled all of his power into his throwing arm. The boy drew his arm back and threw the ball with all his might. As the ball left his hand, Midoriya pushed the ball off with his telekinetic force. This caused a wave of force to rocket the ball into the air. Several of the students commented on how it looked like Midoriya's throw had more force than Bakugo's. Midoriya and everyone waited for Aizawa to show the results. The dark-haired man revealed that Midoriya's score was 720 meters. All of the students cheered at the display. Several of the students, including Ida, Ryoko, Uraraka, and Melissa, went over and congratulated Midoriya. Bakugo stood there with his mouth wide open in shock. This shock wore off quickly to be replaced by a combustive fury. Bakugo rushed Midoriya with the intent to attack him. In a voice full of rage, Bakugo screamed, "Damn Deku! How did you do that?" A number of students worried that Bakugo was going to hit Midoriya. However, the bomb-handed youth was stopped at the last minute when Aizawa wrapped Bakugo in the scarf from around his neck. The man's eyes also glowed a crimson red. "Damn it! Why is your scarf so strong?" "It's a capture weapon, made of carbon fiber and a special metal alloy." Around the red-eyed man's neck hung a pair of goggles. Midoriya knew those goggles. "I know you! You're the underground hero, Eraserhead!" "Correct. Now, Bakugo, I will not allow you to attack your classmate, so calm down or I'll take you to the principal's office for punishment." With those words, Bakugo calmed himself down, and Aizawa released him. "Now that all of the tests are complete, it's time to reveal the results. You should already have an idea of where you are, but here are the official tallies." Aizawa pressed a button on the device in his hand, and a hologram was projected into the air. The hologram showed the results of the test. Midoriya was surprised to see that he tied with Ryoko for 3rd place. Both had been outdone for 1st and 2nd place by Momo Yaoyorozu and Melissa Shield, respectively. After seeing where they had placed, the students then looked at who was in last place. That dishonor belonged to none other than Minoru Mineta. The bald-headed boy looked like he might burst out crying any minute. Aizawa turned the hologram off. He spoke in a flat tone. "By the way, no one is getting expelled." The students all freaked out at this statement. "That was a logical deception to get you to perform your best." His students started to complain about this, but Aizawa ended it with a cold glare. "That's all for today. Grab a syllabus from the classroom and read it over before tomorrow. Before I leave, Midoriya and Shield, I would like to speak with you two." Aizawa and the two teens stepped off to the side of the practice field. "While you two did very well today, I can tell that each of you was holding back. I would like an explanation." Melissa was the first to speak up. "Sir, what I showed you today was the amount of my power that I can use safely. If I had used my full power, I would have broken my limbs. At this point, I can only use about 10% of my power without my special gauntlets and boots." "I see. Well, that was a smart thing to do, Miss Shield. I'm impressed by your decision-making. A broken hero is of use to no one, but do focus your training on being able to use more of your power safely. Now what about you, Midoriya? I didn't see you use that light shield of yours." "I'm in the same boat as Melissa, sir. That power I used in the exam was a new manifestation. I'm still figuring out everything it can do. I can only really use it safely for a 5-minute burst. Any more and that power would overtake me and probably kill me." Aizawa thought for a moment before he responded. "I will say that you two have interesting powers, but if you can get control of them, then you could be very useful heroes. So work hard to get full control." As the man turned to leave, he made one final statement. "Remember, you two, that you don't have as much time at this school as you think, and the villains of the world don't care if you've reached your full potential. Keep those things in mind going forward. That's all." Midoriya and Melissa rejoined their classmates in the 1A classroom. Everyone was curious what Aizawa wanted to talk to the two about. They explained their conversation with the steely-eyed educator, and the other students found this interesting and wanted to know more. Ida interjected and told his classmates that they had all been through a lot today. They would learn more about each other's powers over time. They all agreed and decided to get to know each other more personally. As the group interacted with each other, one thing became apparent to everyone. Ryoko had the hots for Midoriya, and she was not shy about showing it. However, she wasn't the only girl with her eyes on the green-haired boy. The attention from so many beautiful classmates was already causing envy on the parts of Minoru Mineta and Denki Kaminari. As the sun set, Ida, Uraraka, and Melissa asked if they could walk with Midoriya and Ryoko to the train station. The two agreed to the company, though Ryoko was suspicious of the girls' intentions. As they all walked, Uraraka asked a question. "Midoriya, what does Deku mean?" Ida replied,
"Where is that coming from, Uraraka?"
"Bakugo called him that after the softball throw."
"Yeah, that's a name Kachan calls me to make fun of me. He would make fun of a fellow classmate? That is unforgivable."
Melissa spoke in her supportive tone. "It is bad that he does that, but the name does have a nice ring to it." Uraraka agreed. "She's right. I think it would make a really cool hero name." Ryoko chimed in. "They have a point. It is short and cute, just like you, Izuku." Midoriya blushed fiercely. He had never had this kind of attention from girls before. The hot-colored boy replied in an enthusiastic tone. "All right, Deku it is then. That is all it took? I thought you said it was an insult." The group continued this interaction all the way to the train station. Even though their first day had been filled with unexpected challenges, they all agreed that it had been a good day. They wondered what new obstacles awaited them tomorrow. Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoyed. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description, so feel free to check out all the other incredible projects that our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video, so farewell and have a divine day.